Let's go for that one more again. Let's go for that one more again. Oh my God. Let's get ready for Juneteenth. It's a party, baby. It's a party. It's a Juneteenth party. Put your black on. Get your red, your black, your green. We got some guests that's going to be joining us today. Come on, baby. Hey, Terry. How you loving, boo? Mwah. Invite all your peeps. It's a party today. It's a party on Freedom TV today. It is a party on TV, on Freedom TV today. Welcome. Facing the rising sun. Let a new day begin. A new day has begun. Let us march on till victory. Come on, Milo. Freedom Day. Freedom Day. Freedom Day. Come on, love tubers. Freedom Day. I got some guests coming on today with us. Get your black out. Woo! Wait a minute, I gotta get my bell, baby. Gotta get my bell. Hell yes, baby. It's a party. It's Juneteenth, baby. Freedom. Come on, Jaja. How you loving? Joanne. Come on, Joanne. God of our weary years, God of our silence, thou who hast brought us on the way, thou who hast by thy might led us into the light, keep us forever in power. We pray. Come on, our first guest is here. It's a Juneteenth party, baby. It's a Juneteenth party. Shattered beneath thy hand, may we forever stand. True to our God, true to our native land. I love it. I love it. Freedom TV. Come on, Dr. B. You all blacked out too like me. It's Juneteenth, baby. It's Juneteenth.
Yes. And I have my Peruvian beads for extra power.
Ooh, I love it. I love it. I love it. So first thing we're going to do is, whoa. Hold on. First thing we're going to do is we're going to tell everyone what Juneteenth is. If you don't know what Juneteenth is, by now, I don't know. Maybe you're living under a rock if you don't know what Juneteenth is.
Yeah, Google it.
Right? Oh, you love my lip color? Oh, honey. It's called Warrior Princess. Look, I had to put a little Warrior Princess on. Yes. Oh, because it's with our Say Bella brand. Wait a minute, let me get this right. Our beauty brand, Dr. B and I, and all of us in the Wealth of Wellness Vortex, we are into wellness inspired beauty. Yes. OMG, blessing, you're so happy. Me too. It's Juneteenth. Dwight, how you loving? OMG. So we're going to be playing the Black National Anthem. Hey, let's put it on again. Want to put it on again? Let's put it on again. Because it brings tears to my eyes. Oh my God, it brings tears to my eyes. This is the whole Black National Anthem. I know we're going to be crying today because It's so emotional. It's so emotional. Let's go for it one more time. Can y'all hear it okay? Let's have a moment for the Black National. Till earth and heaven ring with the harmonies of liberty. I'm gonna bring it up on the screen too, if I can. Let me see if I can bring it up. Hopefully I can bring it up. Facing the rising sun. A new day begun. Let us march on to victory is won. I hope I can bring this up on screenshot. Hold on. Hold on. Y'all get to see what I be watching on YouTube. All right, let's get it. Let's get it. Can y'all see the screen?
Yep.
I want to hear everybody singing. Lift every voice and sing till earth and heaven ring with the harmonies of liberty. Let our rejoicing rise high as the listening skies. Let it resound loud as the rolling sea. Sing a song full of the faith that the dark past has taught us. Sing a song full of the hope that the present has brought us. Facing the rising sun of a new day begun. Let us march on till victory is won. Stony the road we trod, bitter the chasing rod, felt in the days when hope unborn had died. Yet with a steady beat, have not our weary feet come to the place for which our parents sighed. We have come over a way that with tears have been watered. We have come treading our path through the blood of the slaughtered. Out from the gloomy past till now we stand at last, where the light gleam of our bright star is cast. God of our weary years, God of our silent tears, thou who hast brought us thus far on the way, thou who hast by thy might led us into the light, keep us forever in the path we pray. Lands are free, straight from the places on God where we met thee. Lands are hearts, drunk with the wine of the world, we forget thee. Shadow beneath thy hand, maybe forever. And to our God, to our name. Oh my God, that is our Black national anthem on Juneteenth. How you loving? How you loving, Dr. B?
I'm
oh
in
my
tears.
God, how you loving?
I'm on this camera in
Oh
tears,
my God.
Bev. I don't like this. That song always brings me to tears.
Oh my God. Every time I hear the Black national anthem, all I have to hear is the first few chords. Dun, 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 dun. It's like,
yeah.
It's so emotional, isn't it? It's so emotional. Oh my God. So today, first, we're going to talk about Juneteenth and what is Juneteenth. So if you tuned in and you're not sure what Juneteenth is, you don't know what Black people are talking about, you don't know what the whole hubbub is about, this is a big day for Black people. And the reason it's a very big day for Black people, and not only for Black people, for all people, especially for the United States, especially in the United States. And here's why it's a big deal. It's because we told in the history books that Abraham Lincoln freed the slaves, right? That's what we're told in the history books. That's not actually true. Abraham Lincoln did not free the slaves. Abraham Lincoln signed the Emancipation Proclamation in January of 1863. Yet in the South, in the Deep South, particularly Texas, it was completely untouched by it. And there was still 250,000 slaves in Texas. Right in the South, in the deep, deep, deep South, beyond where we had the Union states and we had the Confederate states. And I tell you, I've still seen that Confederate flag fly in Virginia. And I wish someone would tear it down and burn it. I absolutely wish someone would tear it down and burn it, because that is a sign that says we do not agree with people being free. We agree with slavery. We agree with slavery, and we want to keep our slaves, and we want to keep people subjected to us and subjugated to us. So anytime you see that Confederate flag, spit on it. That's a flag that needs to be spit on and burnt up, because it represents a consciousness of subjugation, of tyranny, of a knee on the back of a Black man. We're not having that anymore. That's over. That's over. Right? So the story, as we know, the story goes in 1863, Abraham Lincoln signed the Declaration, the Emancipation Proclamation in January of 1863. Yet it wasn't until June 19th of 1865, 2.5 years later, that we have this incredible brigadier general come into Texas, a Union general in the war, and declare and read off the proclamation that says, hello, people, slaves are free. Slaves been free for 2.5 years. What are y'all doing here? And the war is over and we won. Freedom won. Mm-hmm. The Union won. The North won. Then people still want to keep their slaves. They still want to keep their slaves. Mm-hmm. So it is incumbent upon us to tell the story of It's incumbent upon us to tell the story of Juneteenth, for every person to understand what Juneteenth is about. Juneteenth isn't only about Black people. Juneteenth is about all people, because it was not a Black man that read the Declaration and said all Black people are free, all slaves are free. It was a white man. It was a white man. It was a white general in the army, in the Union army, that read the notice in Texas, where they still wanted to have slaves, deep in Texas, still wanted to have slaves. Come on, look, Miss Atara Dallas is joining us at the party. Come on, Miss Atara Dallas.
Hey, Atara.
The Juneteenth party is Dr. Denise Bacchus, who is, as you know, the incredible author of Workplace Voodoo, and the incredible, incredible teacher that we love so much, Dr. Denise Bacchus. And she's also a teacher in the mystery school, as you know. And we now have with us the incredible Atara Dallas, who is a Facebook queen, a business partner, and my honey boo. I love her, love her, love her. So this is Atara Dallas. Introduce yourself. Mwah, how you love it? Welcome to Juneteenth party. Welcome to the Juneteenth party.
Hi, everybody. Hi, y'all. I'm sorry. I am driving. So my name is Atara Dallas, as Val stated. I am so excited to be here on this historical day. Oh my God. I've been going in already on Facebook this morning, educating our people on just going to the next level. So again, I am so excited to be here. I'm so excited that Val invited me to join in, and I'm ready. What we talking about? I'm ready.
We're talking about freedom. So now we got our freedom and we understand freedom. And you know, my thing that I love to talk about is financial freedom, because being a financial planner for 7 years at American Express, and we talk about it a lot on the channel. This whole channel is a spirituality channel that is about magic, money, and metaphysics. So how can Black people, and really all people, start to talk about freedom with regard to wealth? Because this channel is here for your freedom, spiritually, mentally, emotionally, physically, and financially. This is Freedom TV. We're talking about freedom. You're not free unless you're financially free. You're not free unless you're mentally free. You're not free unless you're free in all the ways we talk about: spiritually, mentally, emotionally, physically, and financially. You got to free yourself. So what's your word, Reverend Dr. Dallas, on freedom? Oh, Dr. Denise, you got a word on freedom?
Well, you know, this is the thing, Rev. I think, thank God, a lot of people would start studying their history now, because honestly, Rev, I didn't learn about Juneteenth until I hit college. It was not in the history books. It was
no, it's not in the history books.
Not at all. Yeah. And what we have to understand as people, melanated people all over the world, especially in the United States, that we are the economic power of the United States. They're always running after the Black vote. They never run after anybody else's vote. They always want something from us because they know where power lies. So they're trying to get it from us. So what we have to understand is that we are powerful as is, was born to be. We were never slaves. We were enslaved by an evil institution. However, we are not.
Say that again, Dr. B. Dr. B, say that again. We were never slaves. We were enslaved. There's a difference.
We were enslaved by an evil institution, and guess what? That got into our minds. And what we have to do right now is deprogram ourselves. And wherever, you know, we do this in spiritual community, we do this, we understand, because there's a deprogramming of this education that was given to us, and then there's another a reprogramming of who we really are. And it's a remembering of how powerful, how creative, how much we built this country. When this whole slavery thing was over, we were the cooks, we were the blacksmiths, we were the everything. We built everything, we did everything, we knew everything. Okay, they didn't know nothing. We knew how to cook, clean, take care. We built this country on our backs. It is time to do it for ourselves. To me, it is tantamount to, like, you know, my area, and you mentioned my book, Workplace Voodoo. It's tantamount to the Black person that says, I'm going to sign up for this job. I'm going to work hard. I'm going to create this resume. I'm going to do all of this stuff and enter this job situation that will never pay you or give you your just due. When you are so creative and so powerful that you can do all this for yourself. If this serves for nothing more than to allow Black people to rise the F up and know who they are and take your place. Stop being niggas. I'm sorry, I said it. Pull your pants up. Stand up. Ladies, you're not hoochies. Okay? We are queens. Screw what they put in our head. It is time to rise up and be the dominate this thing like we know we can. We dominate everything else. We're going to dominate this, Rev. We're going to come out of this with economic power. It is not just singing these songs and marching. No. First of all, let's look at history. Before Juneteenth, or whatever word we want to use, the Emancipation Proclamation, there were next to nobody, no Blacks in jail. No blacks in prison. Why? Because every moment they stayed off that plantation, that slave owner was losing money. So if a slave got in trouble, they would run quick. The slave master would run quick and get their slave back. After the Emancipation Proclamation, those who did know they were free, the system that be created what we call now Jim Crow, to create any kind of way to put black people back in prison. Why? Because prison was where slavery was allowed. So after this Emancipation Proclamation, the prisons filled up, and that is going on today. It is time for that to stop. We see you. We see you now. We see you. And more people are seeing. The world is seeing you, America. We see you. And we're not going for it anymore. We're not.
It's over. Those days are over. Those days are over.
Time to stand up, ladies, gents, magical queens. Everybody stand up. Stand in your power. You have it.
Time to stand up. Own your power. Hey, Juana, how you loving, boo? Mwah. How you loving? She says Columbia and Cornell medical centers in New York City have given non-essential employees today off. Beautiful. Happy Juneteenth. And also Target has also declared Juneteenth a holiday at Target, and that you can take the day off and still be paid. Atara, what do you say about freedom?
We can't hear you, Tara.
Let me unmute your mic. Okay, you it's telling me that you got to unmute yourself. Okay, there you go.
Val, I can't. For some reason, I can't hear you. I don't know why.
Oh, we can hear you
now. Hold on, Val. Let me try to hold on.
Okay.
Can you hear me, Val? Okay, I'm gonna just speak. I cannot hear you guys, so I'm gonna speak. I don't know what happened to the audio on my end, but Dr. B spoke on exactly what I spoke on earlier on Facebook, and that is knowing who we are. We have become so physically strong. We know we can work. We get up, we work every day. We have built the country on our backs, literally. They took our mental, or they tried to take our mental. So we were so focused on the physical. Okay, what can I do physically? I have to show my physical strength. You know, we get and we go and we play football and basketball and these things, and we do all of these things physically. We go work for people for 30 plus years. We are so physical that a lot of times we have forgotten who we are mentally. We forgotten that our thoughts create worlds. We forgotten that the words we speak create worlds. We forgotten that we are kings and we are queens. So a lot of times I see our people and we are so physically driven that we forget about the mental that comes with that. And that is what creates worlds. That is what puts us ahead of so many other things. And so I just want to say this morning that it's time to remember who you are. It is time to mentally stand in who you are, knowing that you are the strength, knowing that you are just not a physical being. Understand that. You're not just physical. But when you tap into your mental strength, when you tap into that, you're talking about changing worlds. You're talking about creating things that have never been created before, and knowing who you are to the core of your soul. I promise you, this does not take long either. It don't take no years and years. You can literally make a mental shift in seconds. I've done it several times. Many of you have done it several times. Have you ever spoken something out of your mouth and you believed it and you watch it come to you? That is your strength. That is who you are.
We are kings, we are queens. Remember where you come from. They tried to take that from us. They tried to make us forget who we are. They didn't want us to read. They didn't want us to write. All they wanted us to do was tap into our physical strength. I need you to understand something. Once you tap into this, you are unstoppable. There is nothing that can stop you. Nothing. You ain't got to get up every day and go work to build some other person's corporation. You don't have to slave every day out your bed. We'll get up and we'll go to work sick. We'll go to work and our children need us. We will show up to them people's job come hell or high water. But I need you to understand something. That same strength that you have to get up to go build that, transfer that strength to build for you. Transfer that strength to build for your children and your children's children and your children's children's children. That's what I need us to tap into. So that's what I've been on today. And I pray
Come
when I
on.
mute this, Val, if I can't hear you, I'm gonna go out and come right back in.
Hello. Did you hear Atara Dallas? Okay.
Beautiful.
Do you see the kind of women that I hang out with? Do you see the kind of queen bosses and supernatural beings that I hang out with, like Dr. B, Atara Dallas, Dr. Gwendolyn, Coach Gwendolyn, Dr. Madeline? Do you see the kind of beings that we get to hang out with? I mean, this is not this is not a you can't be on the mountaintop if you hang around with bottom feeders. How you gonna get to the mountaintop and you hang around with bottom feeders? I don't hang around with bottom feeders. I hang around with powerful people like the ones you were hearing right here on this broadcast. Hello. Hey, Kathy. How you loving? Kathy said that was beautiful, Atara. Hey, Aurora Day. How you loving? Let me say hi to the love tubers. Hey, Linda. How you loving? Mwah! Great day. Great day. We invited some guests to come on and stop by Freedom TV today because it's Juneteenth and we're having a party on Juneteenth and it's a freedom party. It's Freedom Day. Now, this already happened over 200. How many years ago was Juneteenth, Dr. B? 200 and some odd years ago?
200 something.
200 years ago. It's time.
This is 89. Yeah, about 200 plus.
200 plus years ago. Isn't it time for us to be free by now? Isn't it time?
Rev, we were always free. Let me say this to you. I do love studying history. That's one of my favorite things, though I don't know everything. But this is the thing. Black people have always fought this institution. They just don't write it in the books. They have always fought. They have always resisted. And I promise you, Rev, from my beginning studies, they resisted with magic. Okay? In many stories of our great grandmothers and grandfathers conjured things up on their plantation. And they resisted using the inner strength, the inner power that we all have, that we're all connected to. I mean, my YouTube is the Health Connection because it's all about connecting back to who you really are. And my work, what you love to promote, Workplace Voodoo, is really about workplace. In the workplace, how do you gain back your power? Because like Atara just said, we still working from can't see in the morning to can't see at night for other people. And we're really, we have enslaved ourselves at another level deliberately in these corporations and these jobs, thinking that
it's voluntary at this point. Now it's voluntary. Yeah.
This is the thing. The way to extricate yourself from a situation that you don't like is by engaging your power. And you do that. I couldn't do that until I understood who I was. And I came into the knowledge who I was in spiritual community, because I couldn't figure it out here. Like people would call me, you're weird, you're different, you're this, you're that. In spiritual community, like the beautiful one we're in, we get to expand our power. We get to see people grow. We get to see people grow up in this power. And Rev, you are doing the work on this planet to share that, to beckon people, come. You don't have to live like this. You have power. You are strong. You were born like that. No one can take it from you. And we all have the same power. The same power those slave owners had, we had it too. And many of us resisted, but they will never write that in the books, Rev. They will never put in there how our great grandmothers fuck shit up magically. It was like, ka-chang, there you go. How you like that now? See, they try to take our magic from us, Rev. They said it was the devil. They gave us,
and they tried to beat us with the Bible and tell us that the Bible supported slavery. That's what they tried to do, but we knew better.
Absolutely. Now, because we're coming into this age of Aquarius, the revealing, the unfolding, the pouring out, it is time for us to pour out who we are. I'm an Aquarian, so I'm prepared for this. It is time to—
This is your age, baby. This is your age.
Yes. So we're the water bearers. We're pouring out. It is time for everyone to pour out who they are in this cosmic energy. Who are you? Who are you? Are you some step-infected worker up to now? Or are you a strong, you stand up for yourself, you know who you are, you know what you're about, and you go get it? Come on, Rev. It can be done, and it will be done. It has to be done.
That's absolutely accurate. And you know what's coming up for me as you're speaking this? You cannot be free to live your destiny if you work for someone else, because one day that employer will require something of you that is not aligned with your soul. You're listening to me.
There.
You know exactly what I'm talking about. I'm talking to you. One day, that employer, or maybe many some days, that employer will require from you something that your soul does not want to give and indeed should not give, or they will require your presence at some job or event or whatever the case may be, and your soul knows it's supposed to be in India or Bali or Kenya or Ghana, but you can't do it because you've signed a contract that says, I will allow you to pay me far less than my worth. Can you see that I'm anti-job? That's just me. I never met a job that I liked. Not one. So I'm signing my time away to you 10 hours a day. It's going to take me about an hour to get there, an hour to get home. I'm going to leave my children at home, and I'm going to receive every week or every 2 weeks, or every month, far less than I truly am worth. Yeah, I'm going to sign that contract. Why? So that I can get safety and security. Well, where's that safety and security now?
Exactly. Well, you brought up an interesting point. In a job, there's going to come a time where you will have to betray your very soul. And for me, in my last position, or the time before I got fired or whatever, I was called into the office to fail a student that had fulfilled all the requirements. But the director didn't like the student, and just because she didn't like the student, she just wanted me to fail her because I was the professor of record. And I came into campus with my sweats because I'm like, I'm off duty. What are you doing? Hello. So I came in, and this is what they posted me. And I said, absolutely not. I will not, just because you don't like a student, fail them. And guess what happened to me? I got fired.
Got fired. Well, of course. Because that is just like the videos that we see being censored right now. It doesn't go along with the status quo. It doesn't support the narrative that the Matrix has crafted for the sheeple. So therefore, banned, out.
I was like, screw this job. I'm not going to betray my soul. I'm not going to do this and ruin a student's entire life because you don't like someone. I'm like, man, I'm out of here. They fired me with the sickness.
Fire me if you want to. We got a new member. Welcome to it. Member in the vortex. Woo-woo. Come on. We got a new channel member, and channel members have access to a whole lot of goodies and behind the scenes stuff that's all in your channel membership portal. Welcome to our new member, Joanne. And channel members, you are the producers and executive producers of the show and of this entire channel because you choose to participate with the channel in financial abundance every single month, and we freaking love you. Mwah! I just had to give a shout out, Dr. B, of thanks and appreciation.
I'm a member.
So you're a member, yay! Look, let's give you a bell. Come on, baby, let's give you a bell. Dr. B.
Yes,
continue.
ma'am. Well, honestly, I was really coming to this notion of what are we doing? And I'm really talking about the people that I networked with, the people, my colleagues. We, according to history, we're supposed to be the talented 10th that's supposed to bring the rest along. But trust me, most of us are so mind controlled with the status quo that we sing their praises and we march to their tune, much to the detriment of our own people and our own selves. And when I knew I couldn't do that anymore, any system that don't want you there will expel you. It's just like our circulatory system, anything that don't belong in this body, our body will get rid of. The same thing in the educational system. If they see you're a threat to that system, why? Because of the things you're doing. I was Rev, I'm in class teaching my students in the white university about the Willie Lynch letter, and they about to die.
Oh my goodness, girl, you definitely was not on the Matrix program.
No,
you were not on the Matrix program.
I'm teaching extracurricular stuff. They wanted me to teach textbook, status quo, keep these people in line, let them know only what they want to. And I was like, hell no. My classroom, I'm going to teach what I want. And I got fired.
Guess why? So you can create your own classroom and teach people whatever the hell you please, right? Yeah.
Yes.
Teach what you're led to teach.
That's what I'm trying. This is my point, and then I'll shut up. This is what workplace voodoo is all about, because I live this. I have 4 academic degrees, not from, just from very reputable universities. And I thought I was doing what I was supposed to do. Why we stuck or someone else? Oh,
yeah, my daughter is hopping in a minute. So, come, keep going. You got 4 degrees.
Okay, right. So it took all those things to happen to me, because I thought it was happening to me. Firing, being called up, reprimanded every minute. I probably have a file this thick, because I'm teaching. And then in life,
you have a dossier on inappropriate behavior in corporate America. And you know what I love about Dr. B? Most people are trying to be in line. That's what most people are trying to do, so that they don't collect a dossier. Do you remember Dr. Jatea Wiley when she got fired from the federal government? You know, Dr. Jatea Wiley got fired.
They had a file this thick on her.
Man, they had a file like this on her. And fuck the federal government, people. Why the hell are you trying to hold on to a government job? Fuck it.
Exactly.
I'm telling you, it's way better out of there. I mean, the government, you really want to work at the government? Let me tell you something. When I was a financial planner. Let me tell you something, people. When I was a financial planner at American Express, and y'all know I was in the DMV area, I was in the DC, Maryland, Virginia area, all these federal government people, I'm telling you, I'm talking about things that I know and have personally experienced. I used to go, I went once or twice to the government to do a financial workshop. Worst experiences ever. First of all, you walk into a federal building, it's like a jail because you're in a jail.
It is.
You can't have your devices. They tell you everything to do. I'm surprised they haven't told them what kind of fucking underwear to put on. They tell you every fucking thing to do. They tell you when you can eat, when you can.
Yes, they do.
Where you got to park. They make you into robots. They put a tag on your neck. Okay, I belong to you now. Yeah, you belong to us now. Go through the assembly line. What a tag on you. Everybody's walking around with a tag on. Why do you have a tag? Listen, any place that requires me to wear a fucking tag, it should tell you this is not your freedom. Come on.
Right.
You got to swipe in. They clocking your every move. Then when I got in there,
every single move.
Your every move, they're clocking your every move. And then guess what, Dr. B?
And
once you get in,
cameras everywhere.
Cameras everywhere. I think of cameras up your butt when you go to the bathroom. Cameras everywhere.
Probably.
And do you know what feeds this? I'm going to tell you exactly what feeds this. What feeds this is what my mama and my grandmama and our people taught us. Get you a good government job, baby, and stay there forever. Get you a good government job. That applied in 1960, 1950, 1940 when we were first. That applied to that generation. Because my grandmother, she got a good government job with the New York City Department of Education. I'm a 3rd generation education, and probably many more generations.
You're breaking up a little.
Oh, okay. Let's see. Is this better? Is it better? Is it better?
Hold on. Talk a little bit.
Okay. Is this better? Check.
That's better.
Okay, thank you so much for letting me know. Thank you. I come from generations of teachers. My mother was a teacher with the New York City Department of Education. My grandmother worked for the Department of Education for 30 years. And guess what? When my grandmother retired in the 70s, of course they gave her a pension that was going to last the rest of her life. Of course they gave her a gold watch. She had been there 30 years. Of course she got the package. And of course she was balling in Harlem. That was her life, and props to her for her life. But we must understand that as the world morphs and change, you must morph and change. You cannot carry that same mentality from Juneteenth and from 200 years ago or 50 years ago or 30 years ago or even 20 years ago before the internet. You can't carry that consciousness in the now moment. This is a new world. Do you know that there are these kids getting on the internet at 15 and making $1 million? Yeah, I just made $1 million with socks on Facebook. But you go into a job every year to make $60,000? I don't understand it. Not now. I understand it in the 70s. I don't understand it now. No.
Rev, there's Rev, well, again, this is about history, and we're being historical here. Now we have to understand work, because this is a capitalistic country and it's built off of capitalism. You got to feed this engine, so people have to work. We can have a little bit of okay. People have to
we're
work.
good.
Now okay, great. So when slavery was over, Black folks a lot of people stayed on the plantation, to tell you the truth. They didn't know where
they sure did. They stayed right on the plantation, or they became sharecroppers. Right. Absolutely.
They didn't have the mentality that we have today, and you're absolutely right. So there was a progression. So we look at it at how society grew. So when we moved from less agriculture to more industrial, it opened up the opportunities for women to work outside of the home. So they got all kinds, and then especially when the war hit, women got all kinds of jobs outside of the home. Can you still hear me? Okay, good.
Yes, I can still hear you. Yes, Daya is joining us. Yes, and she got on black for Juneteenth too. Yes, continue, Dr. B. Women working outside the home.
Oh, great. Okay, I'm gonna say things, and great. I'm gonna say two more things. I'll be quiet. It looks choppy over here. Anyway, so after they moved out of these jobs, there were these what was called pink collar jobs. Now I'm fast forwarding to the 60s when we had the civil rights movement. So we have these pink collar jobs, secretarial and teaching, like you said, nursing and all that stuff. And for Black women, we found opportunity because we wanted to move out of those jobs. So when they moved out, Black women moved in. So yes, that mentality started to grow. Get you a good job and stay there for how many years, because it was about survival. And then when Black women started to get much more educated, they started moving into the more white collar professions. And here we are. We think we made it. This is where I was. I did everything that I thought I was supposed to do too. And I thought I made it until Spirit had a whole different configuration for me. And that was my path.
Reconfiguration of your life.
Right. Because I drank that same soup. I believed that I had to work hard, do well, and I couldn't make them 30, 40 years, Rev. I was to die. There was no way. And thank God those people kept firing me. The point is, you have to understand where you are in this system. Where did you enter? Where did you stand up inside and says, I'm going to do this for the rest of my life? Because you put yourself there, nobody else did. It took a long time for me to deprogram myself as to what I believed I was supposed to be doing on this earth. Oh, and that's okay.
Yeah.
And
it is okay, because that's your process. Yeah. And however long it takes you in your process, right? Oh, continue.
Yeah, Exactly. So, really and truly, everything that's going on now, what I see, Rev, what I see is a major divine awakening. And I see more people wanting to know how to connect to this energy, how to connect to their own personal. And that's where we come in, because we have done the work. We know. I mean, you don't have to come this way. There's many paths, but this path is beautiful.
Oh, it's beautiful. And I love what you say about the magic with regard to us, because we never lost our magic when we came from Africa. We never lost our magic. Oh, look who's with us now in the party, in the Juneteenth party.
What's going on?
Everybody give it up for Chris Golden.
All right. How y'all doing? Happy Emancipation Day.
Happy Freedom Day.
Juneteenth. I feel like my hair just got emancipated. I apologize. I look enough. My hair looks like it's been in bondage for a long time. What's going on?
I love it. I love the emancipation afro. And this is, if y'all don't know Chris Golden, professional comedian, he is heritage, both white and black. So he has both of us going on, right? He got both sides of the family going on. So happy Juneteenth on this incredible day. And thank you for repping the afro. Power to the people. Thank you for repping the afro.
Always.
Yes.
You already know.
Yes, always. Got to rep.
Gotta keep it real.
Gotta keep it real. So what do you have to say? Thank you for joining us on Juneteenth. Thank you. It was late notice. I so apologize to all y'all, because I got the idea this morning.
I was late coming, so it's all good,
It's all good. It's all good. So what do you have to say today about freedom? Oh, yeah. Go, Chris.
What do I have to say today about freedom?
Yeah.
Well, I really think it's messed up that the guys were supposed to be free for them whole 2 years, and they were still chugging along.
What a story! Still slaving away and getting your back whipped, and against the wall.
And that's pretty crazy. I actually I just heard about that story recently, because somebody told me that Juneteenth was coming up, and I actually didn't know what it was up until now. I'm sorry. Please don't take my black card away. But
oh no, that's okay. You're in the club.
This is something I just recently found out about, but it is a crazy ass story. But as far as freedom, I'm all about freedom. It's crazy. Your son Corey, for New Year's Eve, he actually painted. Well, he did a sketch drawing for everybody, like in the crew, like these little portraits, and everybody had their own word that they represent of what they are, right? And mine was the freedom. So like.
Mine was the magic.
Nice. Oh yeah. Right. I think I seen yours. Yours was dope as hell. I loved yours.
Yeah, with the wind doing magic. Oh man, he nailed it. He nailed it.
Very dope. Definitely. I was on a skateboard with like my shades, and it was the freedom. And yeah, I was that was dope. So I'm all about freedom, free living, free thinking. And one thing I know is if I was back then in them times, I definitely would have been one of them Underground Railroad. Like I'd have been playing, I'd been looking at the North Star following. I'd have been one of them guys. You wouldn't have seen me out there for 2 hours. And I would have been in the house. I would have been in there making lemonade, still playing my skate.
And you would have been doing like a lot of the black mothers was doing in the house. They was taking their menstrual blood and putting it in the pot and cooking it up and serving it to the. How you gonna abuse people that cook for you? That's a dumb idea.
That's retarded.
And they just stir it up and put the food in front of you. Here you go, master. Yeah. Oh, you can't keep black people down. You cannot. They were cooking up some stews. Some real stews. What about in The Help? Did you see the pie that she cooked up for her?
Oh no! What is The Help? Is that a movie?
Oh yeah, the Help, the movie. Oh my goodness!
I'm sorry.
Oh my goodness! You would love the movie. It's all good. It's all good. Today is a good day to watch The Help, and in The Help, it was The Help. It's called. It was it was more Jim Crow days, right? It was post slavery and more in the days where the black women were being housekeepers, babysitters, nannies, and so forth. Those were the jobs that Black women could get, right? Cleaning homes, taking care of babies, taking care of children. And we've always done what we had to do to elevate the race. And my grandmama scrubbed toilets, or my great-great-grandmother did that so that I don't have to, right? So she made a pie because one of the ladies, the white ladies, was abusing them. You know, they were very abusive. I don't blame any particular person for this. As Dr. B says, this is an institution, right? This is institutionalized. This is systemic. So we can't point out certain people. This is a system that must die. So anyway, she made this pie for her because the lady loved her chocolate pie. Well, she wound up firing the lady. Here she came and she made a chocolate pie and she put her shit in the pie.
Yeah.
And and she baked it up. She put shit in the pie. And she baked up the chocolate pie. And she had it all pretty. Oh, shit pie. Oh, yeah. It was undetectable. Mixed it in. And it was a chocolate pie. And this woman loved her chocolate pie. So she could not tell. It was completely undetectable that the shit was in the pie. And she made it look, she made this pie probably look like the best pie you ever saw in your life, right? And so she brings the pie to the lady after the lady had already been mean to her and all that kind of stuff, just horrific. She brings the pie to the lady and the pie lady was like, oh, thank you. And she slices the pie. Now the lady's mother was a little cuckoo in the head, but she was always kind to the help. So when the mother went to have some of the chocolate pie, she was like, ooh, let me get some of the chocolate pie. The Black lady said, no, mama, that's not for you. The whole pie is for her, right? So she didn't let her white mama get the pie because she knew you wasn't supposed to be doing that because you've always been kind to me. The person that this pie is for her. And it was like a wink, wink. And I tell you, that woman sliced into that pie. Okay, you go now. You bought me my pie. Okay, still, just a mean ass. Still a mean ass.
a cunt to the very end. Damn.
To the very end. Never gave. As she was eating the shit pie, and when she found out, she tore her whole tongue and stomach out. And this is not new. This is what Black women did in the house, in the kitchens, because they all had us taking care of their children, of the slaves. We're not talking about white people. I'm talking about a slave institution. Okay. I'm not talking about Black people. I'm talking about an institution of slavery. And so the enslavers, right, thought that they could subjugate the enslaved. But how are you going to slap a person across the face and say, now go make me my eggs? Okay, I'm gonna make you some breakfast. Here's your breakfast, here's your eggs. I mean, that's just seems like that would be common sense.
For sure. I mean, come on now.
Oh my God. So what's the word you have for our people on Juneteenth? What you about to do on Juneteenth? What does Juneteenth mean for you? What about freedom?
So lit. I'm so glad that it's Emancipation Day because I just worked for like the past 4 days straight and I have like the next 4 days off. So man, this is my emancipation. I woke up free this morning, ladies and gentlemen. Feel me? I woke up very emancipated. And I'm probably gonna go to Baltimore and go see my folks. I'm gonna go see my sister, who is a lovely person, and I'm excited, man. I ain't really been nowhere in a little while, so this is gonna be nice, man. You know what I'm saying? I'm real excited.
Oh my goodness, this is going to be good. And what are you saying? What are you seeing around there in that area, in the DC, Maryland, Virginia area, as far as Juneteenth celebrations and people doing Juneteenth?
Well, I'm in DC, so I'm sure everybody's gonna be doing a little something. But I'm going to Baltimore where I don't know, niggas probably gonna be barbecuing maybe. It's an all Black city, so everybody's just gonna be like, yo, just happy and things gonna be going on. But as far as specific events or anything like that, I have no idea. I live in DC, so I'm going to Baltimore to visit. But that's a good. I'm glad that you said that. I'm actually going to look and see if they got anything going on. Maybe I need to black it up today. You feel me?
Oh, put your black on. That's why I got my black on. What? Put your black on. Put your red, black, and green on. Right. Come on. I
need to get extra black today.
Yeah, Put your black on, because today is Black Day. And you know what I love about Juneteenth is it's not just about for Black people. It's because it was a white brigadier general who came into Texas and read the proclamation. It wasn't a Black person. It was a white person who came and brought the news to 250,000 still enslaved slaves there in Texas, still there.
Ridiculous.
So isn't that amazing? Completely illegal. But don't they still do things today? People that are in that institution, and I'm going to tell you something. There's white people that are not in the institution, and there's Black people that are in an institution.
Right.
There are Black people who are in the institution of keeping Black people back.
Oh, for sure.
Is it?
For sure. Yes. 100%.
It's about consciousness.
Oh yeah, like all those guys that they have on Fox News, like they always find like a coon to bring on to just like
they always find the Black person who's down with their story.
Like, he's down for life. He's like,
yes,
they have a Black guest on, and then their Black guys like shouting down the Black guest, like, "Yo, you shut up! You just talking points. We don't want to hear you." Like, what the fuck? I'm like, oh, what is going on? Like, that's just ridiculous. But
really
it's just true. It exists. Yeah. Those are the guys that when they were following the North Star, and then all of a sudden a bunch of slave masters come out of the bushes out of nowhere, and then they see the guy that's with them, like, they was going to find us anyways. We might as well. I had to tell them, like, oh my God. This motherfucker.
There's always one like that. There's always one like that.
Always one guy.
Pennsylvania.
Always a Judas. Always a Judas.
Well, I guess if Jesus had one, everybody's going to have one. It's got to be one in the book.
Come on now.
And I think that person is that person because of fear. You know, they're so terrified.
Oh, for sure.
Right?
100%.
The rest of us are like, look, I will die on my feet, and rather than live on my knees, I will die on my feet.
100%.
Die on my feet. Freedom is not optional. And I did a post this morning on Facebook that said, freedom is like birth. When you are born, every birth is attended by pain, screams, blood, guts, gore, and then the end, glory. That's what it looked like for us. That's what it has looked like for us. Blood, guts, gore, and glory.
For sure. And you got to have all that before you get the glory. Like, it's not going to happen standing around. Let's just be nice to them. We were nice as hell for a very long time.
And docile and just going along with the program. And every time you turned around when there was a Black uprising, why did they have to squelch it with such terror and such torture? Because of fear.
Fear, like, 100%.
Oh my goodness. If it's 8 of you, if it's the slave master, his wife, 2 or 3 kids, and 10 overlords, right? Trying to control 200 slaves. You know, them 200 slaves would jump up and whip your ass at any given time. Half of the slaves could jump up and whip your ass, yet you have to keep them in the right place mentally. 100%.
You have to break them down mentally to where as though they don't even think about the numbers. You know, they don't realize that they can, like, at any time just take over this farm. Like, this is our farm now. These are our crops. Like, and yet, like that. And yet they had such a strong system in place of even turning us against each other to where as though our numbers mean for nothing. They mean for nothing. If half of us aren't on our side verbally, the other half aren't on our side mentally. It's like we're not a unified unit. The numbers don't mean anything. That little white family, though, they're a unit.
They were unified in one belief.
Right.
Oh, yeah.
One belief, 100%. And not only that, you know, like you said, it's a system, and they're part of that system as well. There's other slave masters. They're going to slave places to buy humans. Like, they were taught from other slaves. The best slave owners taught the other slave owners how to keep their slaves in line. You know, the knowledge is passed around, and that happens I'm talking about for like almost 300 years. That's passed around, and then they get very, very good at it. To whereas though, like, it doesn't matter how many of them are. They're coming here in chains. They're already broken before they even arrive. You know what I mean? There's no way they're gonna, and yet we still found a way to come together and persevere. And a lot of people still got free, still ran away. Yeah. Even before they were emancipated, they flee to the north. They flee to the north, and that's dope. So, like I say, you just can't keep certain people down, man. Certain people are gonna just, nah, not me.
It's not happening. It's not happening.
Right.
It's not in my DNA. It's like my neck is too straight, my back is too straight. Do you know something? A long time ago, when I first graduated from high school, I was about 18, 19, and I had this job at an office. And I would never forget this particular boss that I had. I came out of school and I had studied secretarial science, and I knew stenography and typing and all that stuff. That was the thing back then, right? This was before computers were created. I know I'm ancient. This was still when we were actually typing on typewriters that were electric, and when we had like this Wang word processor, right? But anyway, I was working, and this was my first boss. And I'm so glad I had such a dick for my first boss, because it taught me something. It taught me never subjugate yourself to the whims of someone else. This is what this boss was like. His name was Mr. Falstick. Isn't that interesting? Falstick. Faulstick. His name was Mr. Falstick. The name tells you a lot, doesn't it? No mystery there. Well, he was this person. He had an office and he was white. And he wasn't like this because he was white. Please understand what I'm saying, family.
Right.
And he's part of an institution that was way bigger than him, right? So I'm sitting there, right? And I'm the secretary or whatever, you know. And he used to make these little remarks, because back then you could make remarks about people's booties and legs, and it would be A-okay. That was what bosses did.
Yeah.
Right? And women said something about that. Excuse me, I don't comment on your dick. You don't comment on my booty. How about that? How about we just clear the decks and make it an even playing field? How about that, right? So he says to me one morning, "Why are you late?" And I kid you not, Chris, I was probably like 45 minutes late, because I don't give a fuck about your fucking job. That's just was always my attitude. I don't give a fuck about what you're doing here. You should be happy that I'm working in your stupid little establishment, right? I was always like that. Yeah. I kid you not. When he said something to me about being late, something straightened in my spine that was like, my mama and daddy don't even say nothing to me like that. Sure the hell is not. And I looked at him like, do he want a sister to go straight Harlem up in here now? I live in Harlem and I'm coming downtown to New York City, and I'm in Midtown Manhattan now, and I'm trying to wear my Midtown Manhattan as best I can, like my mama told me she did give me some home training. But right now you about to get to Harlem. About to
go back up to about to go across 110th Street on his face.
You know, where all the yellow cabs stop at a certain point, they just turn around.
Right when they turn around. Yeah.
Cabs the rest of the way, right?
When it gets to like 134th and all the high numbers.
Right back downtown.
Right.
Man, going no far. It's like a force field. You could not get a yellow cab to go past the force field in New York City. Right? So,
that's hilarious.
Oh man. He looked at me, and I don't know what I said to that man. Whatever I said to him, he looked at me like, I better not try her. There was something that rose up in me. It was the blood of the thousands of ancestors that run through me. You're not going to tell me what to do. I work here, and something in me knew you're not my boss. You're not the boss of me. And I never conducted it like he was the boss of me. I work here. You're not the boss of me.
I like that.
That was the end of that. And not long after that, I got fired, as you might guess.
Oh, sure.
And and I am officially unemployable. I got one boss, source. Not God, a big white man in the sky. Source. Cosmic mind. That's it. That's what I'm connected to for all guidance. And that doesn't even demand anything of anyone, nor does it tell you what you have to do. You have choices, and you can tap into it if you desire for wisdom, guidance, strength, anything you want. It has everything. It's your choice, right? Totally
I'm
free.
glad you said that. That is very beautiful. Because like my boss, my job pays me very well, but my boss is a dick. Yo, I swear to God. And what sucks about my boss is he's my cousin. Like we're family, and he's black.
Even worse. Even worse. He's family and he's black. Even worse.
So I want him to win. I actually want to be a part of his business. He's running his own business. It's a beautiful thing. But beautiful. Man, he doesn't know how to talk to people, and he's lost so many employees. And me and him be going back and forth because I seem to be the only one that will like tell him like, look, dog, you're not going to talk to me like this. Like if I'm going to come and do X, Y, and Z, like it has to be a mutual respect. I'm your cousin. I'm not your flunky. And we've had these conversations, but it's just, I don't know, man. He's one of those people. His ego is very, very large. And he also doesn't even believe that there's such thing as a spirit. He's not in touch with that world at all. Anytime I try to say anything from that world, he completely puts up this defense wall and does like this whole thing where he's like, yeah, whatever, shut up. I don't want to hear about that shit. That's for dumb people that sit around and don't get any money. And I'm like, not really. I'm learning these things from a person who gets a lot of money. Like, okay, you know,
you just want to be spiritual. I promise.
Right. You. Exactly.
Like, I went through my numbers. I went probably through, I think it was $293,000 in the last 24 months. That's what I spent.
Right. And that's what he doesn't understand. He's stuck in this, I don't know. He's really stuck in the ego consciousness on 100% level. And I just have no way of getting, he's like 40 something. So he's just there. That's where he lives. This is like, you know what I mean? So working with him, it can be tough at times, like dealing with his self-centeredness, his tendency to like talk to people crazy. He cusses and yells a lot. And just like, why are you doing that? What does that come from?
What's the purpose? And you know what I found with a very big ego that it wants to take over and wants to supersede or whatever, or boss. If you have to say you're the boss, you're definitely not the boss. So right? Definitely not. Because when the boss walks in, nobody questions the boss. If you're a boss within yourself, you're the boss of you, not trying to be the boss of other people. Real bosses are not trying to be bosses of other people. Be master of self. That's a real boss as far as I'm concerned.
Word.
Yeah, that's real boss.
I love that.
Right? When people that want to take over other people and tell other people that they're the boss, they're really working from a very small, tiny perception of self. And they have to magnify it. Like every pride covers a very deep insecurity. Very deep insecurity. So I would pray for him because deep inside, he thinks that he is so little and so insignificant. They are suffering from the disease of insignificance. And really, and you can even let him see this part of the video. I would really, I would welcome that you are suffering. I'm going to talk to you for a moment. You are suffering from a dis-ease and a consciousness of insignificance, and it's very deep, and it's in the shadow, and it's eating you alive, and it's destroying the people and the relationships around you. So do something different if you want to. Yeah.
Oh man, that's so beautiful, man, and that's really like exactly what he needs to hear. Because I was even talking to a friend about this, and I was like, man, he always trying to pump himself up and like I'm the boss, try to flex, and then there's this girl that works there that's like really, really attractive, but he really wants to like flex and try to like use his position to try to like get in with her, and she just be like ignoring him, but he's always trying to like. There's other people that don't work there, like that I've talked to, that think that that's his girlfriend because he hasn't said that that's his girlfriend, but he also hasn't not said that that's not his girlfriend. You know what I mean? Like he's trying to create this image of like, yeah, I work with. Look, my chick is helping me run this business, but it's like not really his girlfriend. He's like, I'm a boss. I'm blah 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 blah. I got a business, but even though he has a self-sustaining business that he doesn't even have to be there for, he hangs around there all fucking day because he has nothing else going on. He just hangs around there, micromanaging. We literally don't need him. And it gets me so angry because I'm like, you know how many friends that I have? Like my friend Corey, he's a painter. You know how badly he would love to have just a self-running business that's giving him multiple thousands a day, and he doesn't even have to fucking be there. He would be painting. He would be in the world of art. And my cousin, he claims that he wants to write scripts and do all this and all these goals, but I never see him working on scripts. All day I just see him sitting there rolling blunts, trying to get attention, talking loud, making really, really bad jokes, which is a pet peeve of mine as a comedian.
You're a comedian.
He's not funny, and he tries to be a lot. So that's very exhausting. That drains on my comedic spirit. Because when I go over there, he's constantly going for jokes. He's one of those people too. If a joke doesn't work, he doesn't just move on. He'll just keep at it. Like he'll keep trying to maybe
try to make you laugh.
It's like a bad Key and Peele sketch. It's just like, come on, man, like wrap this up.
You know, some people would rather be right than happy. I found out you can't be both. So you know what? I'm okay with you. Yeah, it can't be both. It's like, okay, maybe I'm wrong. Guess what? I'm still happy.
But I was talking to, yeah, right, exactly. At the end of the day, when I go to sleep, I'm happy as shit. I look in the mirror like, good job today, Chris.
So happy.
Fucking high fiving myself. This guy, I was talking to my friend. Yeah,
God.
like for sure, double high fives. I was talking to my friend about my cousin, and he was like, look, man, he might put on this big front and this big show and cuss and say he doesn't need anybody, all this stuff. But at the end of the day, when he goes to sleep at night, he is 40-something years old, has no girlfriend, no friends, no kids, and he knows these things. He doesn't not know these things. Like he can ignore them, he can pretend, but he knows.
You know them. And everyone's fighting a silent, secret battle that they will never talk about because they're too ashamed to talk about it.
Oh, for sure.
Right? Yeah. So I just pray for people like that, send them love. And I make it, you know, maybe try an experiment to make it as safe a space for him to be insignificant by being willing to speak to my own insignificance. That brings the defenses down. Right. When I tell people, you know, I'm crazy as hell. I don't know what the hell I'm doing. I fuck up everything and then I write it again or whatever, you know. However, you can be self-deprecating in a presence of a person like that because we're just playing a big fucking game, right? Everybody's God. Everybody's God. So 100%. I find with people like that, creating the space around me for them to be completely vulnerable and raw and real, because I'm being raw and vulnerable and real, gives them, and I know I'm divine and I can act stupid as hell and it doesn't change my godness. I'm still God. I was dumb last night. I slept with the wrong person. I messed up I made all these mistakes and I'm still God. Like people, right? You're still God. At the end of the day, you're still God. So people get what they do mixed up with identity. What I do is not who I am.
Yes, I agree with that 100%. They're not synonymous. They're not the same thing at all. Our actions are not us. Our body is not us. Nothing that exists on this plane is us. So, you know, we always forget. We forget that we're this like fundamental goodness, this abundant goodness that, you know, no matter what, the universe is not going to stop loving you. It's going to love you exactly the same. It loves you. It loves the shit out of you. Like,
adores you.
For sure.
Looking for ways to make your toes curl. Right now, the universe is scheming. How can we make Chris so happy and blessed?
Right. It's conspiring for you. Like,
for you. Woo! Chris will be back in a moment. Kashat, I saw your comment, Kashat. It's hard to build connections in this world. I mean, true connections. Kashat, that is a beautiful, beautiful share. Thank you for sharing that, Kashat. And here's how you build true, beautiful connections in this world. Be yourself. Be yourself. Love yourself. Be yourself. Love yourself. Be yourself. Love yourself. And when you're being yourself and you're loving yourself, you're connected to everyone and everything, and then you have true connections. you will have true connections because you're being yourself and you're loving yourself. And when you're being yourself, self, capital S self, then you are connected to everyone. Chris, I was just sharing with, let me add you to the stream again. I was just sharing with Kashette because I saw the comment in the chat about, I deal with that too. It's hard to build connections in this world. I mean, true connections. I really deal with that with other Black women. Very interesting. I've heard that too about Black women. I have never had that issue with Black women. And the reason I've never had that issue with Black women, I think the Black sistership is lacking in America. Kashette, I would beg to differ. I would beg to differ. And with all due respect, respectfully, I'm going to offer you something. I hang in a circle of women in our spiritual community that if you were with us, that thought would change instantaneously. Oh my God. I am in a circle of absolute, pure, unconditional love. And if people don't love me, they don't get to be in my circle. And how? Because I cast them out? No, because they just can't get past the force field that is the great love bomb that I am. They be trying to get into the force field. They won't be able to. And literally, I see them bounce off. They be like trying to, why do I keep bouncing off? I don't know. I'm just a love bomb. Trust me, Kashette, you with the wrong women. You with the wrong.
That's what it is. A lot of people, they try to they look at their personal experiences with people and they try to define the world based on them. Not to say that that's what you're doing, Kashette.
That's powerful.
Right. Not to say that's what you're doing, but perception is reality for a lot of people. And if you've had like a lot of bad experiences, it's kind of like that chick that you meet and she'll be like, yeah, my heart's been broken a lot. Like she's got a bunch of tattoos of like like broken hearts.
Wait a minute, people's names on them and then crossed out.
She's got like 2 different dudes' names on them. Those guys are not around anymore. Like, like to her, relationships, her perception of a relationship is like bad, probably. Like, oh man, like all men are out to break my heart. Niggas ain't shit. You know what I'm saying? Those are usually, I hate to say it, and I hate to say this is very controversial, but those are usually the chicks.
This is freedom to
the chicks that end up with the dyke chicks. They'll you know, those like you'll see a dom dyke girl and she'll have a girl with her that will be like bad as fuck, but you can like, she's been through mad heartbreak with niggas, mad bad experiences. She's like, well, at least this bitch loves me unconditionally. And it's like, I swear, like people, I don't know, some people, like perception can skew your reality is all I'm saying. And
oh my God.
Just as she said,
perception is reality, isn't it?
When you get exactly perception, it literally equals reality. Like because
is reality.
We are all creating this world that we live in and that we perceive. We are creating it literally. We are the same like energy, but we are experiencing itself subjectively through different watchtowers, if you will, right? So each watchtower has its own subjective existence, and that actually alters the reality that watchtower lives in. It really does. Just imagine if you could go into somebody else's tower, you might look and green is blue, and fucking like everything is different than how you see it. People seem meaner. You know what I'm saying? You focus in or zone in on certain things that people say versus other things. That's perception. And you can change that. You can control that. All perception.
It's made up in here. It's conjured up in here. That's
the 4 walls, baby. What's your house look like up there? Is it haunted?
And I want to say 2 things to Kashette, because I see another message from Kashette. It's really beautiful. I want to say 2 things to Kashette and to everyone here. There is a distinction between true lesbian women and women who choose lesbianism because of heartbreak. There's a distinction. I know true, real lesbian women. They're not lesbian because they were heartbroken. They're lesbian because they're lesbian. That's what they are. And then there are people who think that they can escape their own inner work and healing the heartbreak by changing, well, I'll just go over here to a safe space where you think you're never going to get heartbroken again and watch yourself get heartbroken again. It's just going to keep happening. It doesn't matter whether it's a penis and a vagina. I keep saying it all the time on this channel. It's not about penises and vaginas. It's about energy.
Right.
Have whatever penises and vaginas you want to have. Have as many as you want. Get all you can get in America. And at the end of the day, it's your fucking energy. Check it. Cuss us off. Let's go to Cachette. I have a pentagram on my car and I manage at Walmart. I'll walk into the break room and they all leave. Cachette, if you were the manager at Walmart, I'll say this because I love you. I would walk out too. And here's why. First of all, I wouldn't work at Walmart. Do you all realize that Walmart is the carnival of the bazaar? That's what I call Walmart. Carnival of the bazaar.
Yo, the person at the front door with the stickers, that's the barker. He's the carnival barker. And he looks the worst.
Put a happy face on you.
Come on in. Step right up and get sad about your existence. Come on now.
Look at people, behold, the people walking around with slippers on because they didn't even care enough about themselves to take off their pajama pants to come shopping in the middle of the store.
Watch a fat woman and you can see blue veins coming out of her legs beat her kids in front of you. And then yell at you for watching.
Step right up, girls. What the fuck?
That's a freak show. I try to stay out of Walmart as much as I can.
That's the first fucking problem.
I swear to God, I don't care. I understand. I respect your job, Miss Lady, and everybody got to pay their bills. But Walmart is a terrible place.
I don't respect it. But thank you, Chris, for respecting it. I don't fucking respect it because it's not respectable. I don't respect things that are not respectable.
Okay, I respect that you're working.
Yes. Thank you, Chris. That's absolutely accurate. We absolutely respect that you are doing your job. We absolutely.
That's what I really meant to say.
Yeah, absolutely right about that.
Word.
Because I give props to everyone who is working. You're getting up. You're being industrious. You're doing something with yourself, and in it, you're going to learn your lessons. Because Shet, it's time for you to get the heck out of there and come with us in the Wealth and Wellness Vortex Facebook group, because we're going to teach you a whole new way of living. And that's for everybody. The link will be below this video. It's voluntary.
Hey Val, speaking of, I hate to cut you off, but speaking of good living, I bought my first piece of Bitcoin the other day.
Let me tell you something, Chris. I just bought more Bitcoin. Isn't it a circus? Because Shet said it is a circus. You know, you can continue to get.
She confirmed it. She was like, "Yeah, I'm running a circus."
Yeah, I am kind of running a circus. You ain't gonna never get nothing but circus from a circus. So what can you get? You're not gonna change Walmart. You might as well change yourself, right?
Right.
It's an institution. It's an institution that is a carnival of the bazaar. So you know you can extricate yourself at any time because you have choices, and you can step into your greatness and your destiny. One thing I'm going to say about that, and the reason why people remain in situations that are far below their dynamic destiny, is because you're too fucking afraid to live the thing that you're really here for, such as standing on stage in front of people with comedy, or standing on a stage delivering a powerful speech in front of thousands of people, or writing that controversial book that's going to get you a ton of backlash, or creating that new app, or creating that new fill in the blank. And because you're too afraid to do that and too overwhelmed with how do I do it? I don't know what to do. Fuck it. Let me go work at Walmart. They gave me a job.
Oh my God. Yo, and I used to see that consciousness in Baltimore, right? I remember this one time, there was this chick on the bus that had a McDonald's outfit on, right? And she was preaching about how good McDonald's is. And this chick she was trying to tell us, yo, come work at McDonald's. I'm telling you, they help you with college. They help you with this and that. They'll set you up. And I'm looking at her like, bitch, you look 45.
She with her McDonald's shirt on and happy.
On the bus.
On the bus. And don't think nothing's wrong with that picture. Has no clue.
Oblivious. And trying to get a 20-something-year-old young woman to come work at McDonald's. Now, at the time, I was merchant. So, I mean, you know, I wasn't making a ton of money, but nigga, I wasn't working at nobody's McDonald's, and I wasn't nobody's 45 years old. So, and I wasn't one of those guys that used to try to recruit people for the business on the bus. Now, if you're on the bus, just shut up and get to your destination. Nobody wants to
Just be quiet and pray to get off the bus. Let me tell you something.
Please.
Oh, please. You know, when I was on the bus, and I got to tell you something, you get a lot of lessons from the bus. You get a lot of lessons from the bus.
Sure.
Because, you know, when you're creating your fortune, things are up and down, up and down, up and down. And I've had many downs because you got to make a fortune, lose a fortune, make a fortune, lose a fortune, make a fortune, keep a fortune. That's how it goes. So now I'm on the keep a fortune tip because I already lost a couple of fortunes. And I'll tell you one thing, in one of my losing fortunes moments, I remember being on a bus and I was so mad. I was so mad. I'm like, every stop, I think I got madder. I think I got madder like every fucking stop. Like, you have to now you now have to give your power to someone else, sit in a vehicle that is going to take you inch by inch, pick up some more, I hate to say it, losers. I'm going to be very controversial. I'm just speaking from my heart. Pick up some more losers who haven't figured out what their life is all about yet. I was one of them because I was on the bus, right? Hadn't figured it out yet.
Right.
I was in my process though. I was never going to be comfortable on the bus. I was so freaking uncomfortable I could barely sit down.
Yo, I'm telling you right now.
Bus.
That's it. There's no comfort to be had. It's just like fucking Ludacris said in the movie Crash. It got them big ass windows on it so everybody can see. Look at the broke nigga on the bus. Look at it. Like, goddamn. Look, I'm telling you right now, I swear to God, even in pandemic, we're in a pandemic right now, right? It takes Ubers like 15 minutes to get to me, and I'm paying like $20. And I swear to God, my ride only be like 10 minutes, 15 minutes to get to work and back. I take a fucking Lyft every day, there and back. I don't give a fuck, nigga. I don't care. I'm not hopping on that fucking bus. No, No, not even from a place of ego, but I make far too much money to be riding on anybody's goddamn bus. I don't care about convenience or time. And I also hate cars, so I'm not about to buy a car. I like being in the back of a car, driver, take me where I'm going. It sets me up for when I'm really big on this comedy shit, and I will have a driver, and he will be cool as fuck. You know what I'm saying? That's what I'm preparing for. That's where my mind state is at. You feel me? I am in the back with a driver. I am not in a fucking bus. That's gonna lower my energy, and that's not worth the money. That's not worth the residual cost. Sorry.
What it does to your consciousness.
I swear to God, that like my coworker all the time, like, why don't you're right by the train? Why don't you just take the train? No, that's the same shit. That's just underground.
And then underground with all those different energies, and they're all thinking the same thing. Why the fuck am I here? I gotta get
everybody's phone. I'm sorry. Everybody's phone is cut off because they're underground, so they're angry now because they've been cut off from their extra limb that they have. Ew.
Their appendage that has now become a device has become an appendage now, right?
That shit is crazy, man. Hey, Joanna Andrews, Chris, I love you so much. You belong in the tribe. Thank you. I appreciate that. Your kind words. They have moved me. I'm moved.
I love it. I love it. As a matter of fact, Will Smith tells a story about when he was on the bus. Man, that thing is so funny. He said, it's only one thing worse than being broke. He said, that's being broke and famous.
Damn. When did this happen? Was this around the time Millennium came out? Yeah, that was a terrible album. What was his big break when he was with DJ Jazzy Jeff back in the early days, back in Philly? They had this big blow up, and they had all this money, and then they spent it all. Make a fortune, lose a fortune, because we're dumb and young. We don't know what the hell is going on, right? So you give a dumb young hood person all this money, they're gonna be out of it in no time, right? We keep doing that over and over and over again until we start to get smarter, right? David John, right? One of the sharks, he said, I made so many mistakes with money. That's how I became the most savvy financial person in the room, man. I could crunch them numbers backwards and forwards. Why? Because we just messed up so much, right? It's your curriculum. It's the knowing the history.
Yes, it's part of your story, right? It's part of your becoming. He said he was on the bus after they lost all of it. They had all this money, right? Yeah, we balling. They was buying everything. They was taking everybody everywhere.
hilarious.
Come on, you're treating everybody. The consciousness had not set in yet that you do not treat broke people because they'll just stick to you like leeches until they drain you dry, and then you'll be dry and they'll be dry too. You don't hang out with poor people if you're rich. Not because you don't love poor people. We love everyone. It's because the best thing you can do for poor people is not be one of them. And the second thing is you only make as much money as the 5 people that you hang around. So please choose them closely, wisely.
Right. I swear to God. I'm upgrading my shit all the time. It's like my top 5 on MySpace. Remember MySpace used to have the top 5? Like, that's like me. It's like me in life. I swear to God, people are getting taken down off that shit all the time, and they don't even know it. They don't even realize.
You can't be in my top 5. Like, this is prime real estate.
Because my shit's not publicly displayed. My shit's just for me. So you don't know who's in my top. You know what I mean?
Ooh, my goodness. He said he would be on the bus, him and DJ Jazzy Jeff. And before, when they was on the bus, before they were famous, they were just on the bus because they were in the hood. But guess what? They were working their thing. They were not extolling the virtues of the bus. They were not extolling the virtues of working at McDonald's. They had their eyes to the sky, to the moon, to the stratosphere, right?
Word.
So they worked their thing, and it paid off, and they got all this money. They mismanaged the money, lost the money, was back on the bus. Now, this is a whole new experience. Because now you on the bus and you famous. Man, he said people would be like, hey, ain't you Fresh Prince?
Oh,
man, that's my jam, Fresh Prince. You be sitting there like, okay, how fast can I get It's fucking humiliating. Oh my God.
Oh, for sure.
Oh man. You know, it'll teach you. Let me do something different with my life. And let me start to map out a life plan. If you're working at McDonald's, this is what I'm going to end with this Freedom Day on Juneteenth. If you work at McDonald's, Walmart, if you work anywhere, please get a bigger dream. Go to the mountaintop. Go think bigger. Go to Mount Everest. This is my personal dream. Reach and teach billions of people. That's what I'm about. Reach and teach billions of people.
I want to make 1 million people laugh simultaneously somehow. I don't know how.
Oh, yes. Sure. And you can do it now with the web, right? You can do it.
Crazy.
You know, you could have like 10 stadiums of like 80,000, 100,000 people each, 10, 12 or across the country. And you could be bilocated, like holographed into all those places.
How many people are in the chat right now? Like, how many people watching? Do you know, or is just like fuck it?
Oh, they come and go. Yeah, it's showing us. It's showing us people that.
I got a joke. Valerie? Why did the chicken cross the road?
Oh Lord, not to get to the other side.
No, to get to your house. Knock knock.
Who's there? Chicken.
The chicken. Got one, coach. Come on now. Now that's the joke.
Knock knock. Oh, I like the little combination there of the two of them together.
Combine 2 classics. You feel me?
You can't go wrong with the chicken cross the road or the knock knock. You put it together. You got it. All you got to do is throw it at your mama for the threesome to end it up. Man. And when
Don't
you open the door and say your mama, it's over.
Yo, the best mama joke I ever heard. I'm glad you brought up mama. The best mama joke I ever heard. My man's he said to my dark skinned friend, he was like, man, your mother's so dark. I looked at her, I thought I was asleep. I was like, oh my God.
What about your mama got a mouth on her neck and she eat like this? You know.
Yeah, that's a classic. That's a classic right there. You gotta love it.
All them dudes I grew up with, they was all into the mama jokes. They just kept escalating. They just kept one-upping each other with the mama jokes.
Don't even want that.
Billion phones for all our super chatters today. I love you, super chatters. All right, so we're about to go out with the Black National Anthem. And before we do so, Chris, can you tell everyone where to find you before we end the show? Where can they find you, follow you?
Right there in the tag. at Chris G Comedy on Instagram. I got some funnies up there, a little bit of comedy footage, and yeah, I don't really post a lot, but that's where you can find me. You want to hit me up if you are in the DC area and you happen to know about some secret underground comedy show. please tell me. I need to get on stage. I'm dying. Yeah, that's it. Chris G Comedy, baby. Chris Golden.
Chris Golden. I love it. I love it. Well, thank you so much for being with us today on Freedom TV.
Thank you for having me. I appreciate it. I love being here. This is fun.
Oh my God. I'm so glad you were here. You're one of our regular guests now, coming on to the show anytime you want.
Sure.
You're always here on Freedom TV. And we're going to wrap it up. Thank you, Chris. And we're going to wrap it up with the Black National Anthem. I'm going to
get it.
Screen share. We're going to sing the Black National Anthem. We're going to sing the whole thing. Some of us know like the first few lines, but we about to sing the whole Black National Anthem on Juneteenth. Family, I so love you and I so appreciate you being here. If we stepped on your toes today, I want to say something. If we stepped on your toes today, do not put it in the comments. You shouldn't be talking about poor people. You shouldn't be talking about people that work at McDonald's. You shouldn't be talking about people at Walmart. No, if we stepped on your fucking toes today, good, put in the chat, Reverend Val, I was at McDonald's and now I did this and I did that and I worked my thing and I worked my soul destiny, I worked my freedom, and now I own this business that's bringing in $10,000, $20,000 a month. That's what I want to see in the comments. I don't want to see your fucking comments.
And let me say this too, right? Not everybody's supposed to make it. I'm telling you, there are people. I'm telling you, there are people that are going to work at McDonald's. It's going to happen. And guess what? McDonald's doesn't care if you're there or not. But do you care? Wow. Do you care if you're there or not? Because McDonald's is going to be fine without you. But are you going to be fine without McDonald's? Yes. It goes both ways. You don't need McDonald's. You don't need Walmart. And they don't need you. And that's the sad part about it. So why would you even be in a relationship? That's like dating somebody that literally like has no investment in the relationship at all. They're like, if you need, I'll get another bitch tomorrow. Like, would you date that nigga? No. Come on now. Come on, man. Invest in yourself, man. The only reason I'm working for my cousin is because I love my cousin. There's love there, but McDonald's does not love you.
And I gotta tell you something.
Right, No, all I was gonna say too is wealth can buy. They say money can't buy happiness, but poverty can't buy anything. And that's all I'm gonna say.
Wow.
That's all I'm gonna say.
Look at that. And let me tell you something. For me, what all resources are for me is for you to have the fullest expression of yourself. What is that? And I have never seen anyone fully self-express that didn't have access to resources and capital. I've just never seen it. Never. That's how you fully express yourself. All I'm saying is, please do not pitch a tent at McDonald's. You're so much more than that. Do not pitch a tent at Walmart. You're so much more than that. So even if you're not supposed to be the next billionaire, you certainly are not supposed to be the next Walmart employee either. Right. Seek your fortune. There's something for you. There's something you're here on the planet to do. Do that. All right? We're going to bring up the Black National Anthem. Are we ready, family? And I want to hear everybody singing it. Are we ready?
Word. Let's get it.
Let's do it. All right. Thanks so much, Chris, for being with us.
Thank you for having me.
Indeed. Are y'all seeing my screen? It's going to go big in a minute, and then we're going to start it. It's a little slow.
Let me take my shades off for this. Let me be respectful.
Hand over your heart. Sing with us, family.
Damn, I look really high.
Okay. Sing, still in heaven, ring with the harmony, so liberty, let our rejoicing rise as the listening skies loud as the rolling sea. Sing a song full of the faith that the darkness has taught us. Sing a song full of the hope that the present has brought us. Facing the rising sun of a new day begun. Let us march on till victory is won. Stony the road we trod,
Yeah.
bitter the chastening rod, felt in the breeze when hope unborn had died. Yet with a steady beat, have not our weary feet come to the place for which our
Kathy, thanks for the follow.
reside. Isn't it beautiful?
Beautiful.
We have come over a way that with tears has been watered. We
have come
path through the blood of the
Lord,
slaughtered. Out from the gloomy past till now we stand at last, where the light gleam of our bright star is cast. God of our weary years, God of our silent tears, thou who hast brought us thus far on the way, thou who hast by thy might led us into the light, keep us forever in the path we pray, lest our feet stray from the places our God where we met thee, lest our hearts drunk with the wine of the world we forget thee. Shadow beneath thy hand, may we never stand. True to our God, true to our native land.
beautiful, 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 beautiful. That was very lengthy. I felt like I was in
Did
church.
you love
But
it?
beautiful.
Oh my God. Did you love it? Did you love it? Oh my God. And that's a wrap for Freedom TV today. Thank you, Chris Golden, and all our guests, the incredible Atara Dallas, Dr. Denise Parkins, all our viewers. I love you. I love you. I love you. I love you. God bless you. Have a beautiful day. Mwah. Peace.
Peace.
Thanks, Greg.
Thank
Peace.
you. Bye-bye.